So I had a weird dream. I don't remember much of anything anymore. But, I actually dreamt that, remember the other video where I dreamt that my mom was being arrested for, what was it, growing, whatever it's made, in, alcohol and beer, hops, I think it was, even though that's not illegal, I don't think. Um, I mean, in non-commercial settings. I mean, like in your backyard. Is that illegal to grow in your backyard? I don't think so, but I don't know. In my dream it was. But anyway, this time I was being arrested, or I was going to, or something like that, for murder. Yeah, I was being arrested for murder. The police weren't here, but they were gonna, they were proving it first, and then I was gonna be arrested or something like that. To clarify, it would have been a false arrest, because in my dream, well, in real life as well, but in my dream, I didn't do it. But for some reason, they thought that I did. And so I was falsely accused, and then I was going to be falsely arrested for something that I didn't do. And speaking of being falsely arrested, that's one of my biggest fears, I think, is being arrested for something that you didn't do. Because, like, I know, when people are actually guilty of something, they still say, oh, I didn't do it and all that, usually. Most of the time people don't admit to it, at least not right away. They always say, oh, I didn't do it, I didn't do it. And then, they're still proven that they did. Most of the time. Sometimes when they say they didn't do it, they really didn't do it. But I'm just saying that there are quite a few, if you look it up, there's actually quite a few people, um, quite a higher percentage than you would have thought of people that get arrested that are innocent. Like are in jail. Like, they are convicted, they are found guilty, and then it turns out if they're lucky, weeks, but months or years go by. Sometimes they're even killed, or they're just there in jail until old age, until it's finally found that they were actually innocent the entire time and they really didn't do anything. And that's one of my biggest fears, is like, somehow either somebody like pinning something on me or something like that, and actually being arrested and found guilty of something that I never did. Because, if I actually did something and I was arrested, sure, I would still be scared. But, if I did it, I deserve it, right? I mean, you deserve to be punished for bad shit you've done. If you've stolen, or if you've killed somebody, or done something in between those two, that isn't as bad as murder, but is still, wrong, then, you deserve whatever you get. But it's when you're innocent and you're still punished for even if it's not such a bad crime, like, even if you were found guilty for stealing. I mean, you were still found guilty for something that you didn't do. It's a whole other level of when you're a kid and that your teacher or your parent you get in trouble for something that you didn't actually do as a kid. It's that, but just the adult version of that. And it really sucks. As a kid, it sucks. Like, depending on how you were as a kid, you get in trouble for stuff that you did do, and that sucks. But then when you really didn't do it, and you know you didn't do it, and you keep saying you didn't do it, but it doesn't matter, you still get in trouble for it anyway. And that really sucks when that happens. But when it gets to that serious level and you're actually arrested for something you didn't do, that would scare the absolute shit out of me. Because knowing I didn't do anything but still being treated like a criminal, holy hell. That's one of my biggest fears. That and drowning, I think. I think drowning is my biggest fear, and then that's probably right next to it. I don't know. It's just like, especially with recent stuff, how people are shot and killed by police when they didn't do anything wrong. Like, that seems to be happening more and more often. So, like, if you're lucky enough to not be shot and killed, and you're actually arrested and then found guilty for something you didn't do, I mean, that's so horrible. But same thing with being killed. Like, that's really bad. Uh, on a different level. Like, that really upsets me a lot. Is there's so many things in this world that are trying to kill you, whether intentionally or unintentionally. Um, there's so many things that threaten our lives on a daily basis, whether it's a car accident or a natural disaster like a tornado or an earthquake or whatever. There's so many different things that threaten your life on a daily basis, and yet some asshole comes along and decides none of that is enough. Why not I just kill you? And then they end somebody's life just like that. That that upsets me quite a lot, is when other people decide when somebody should die or not, instead of it just happening naturally, whether it's old age or an accident or a natural disaster. What's that noise? I heard something. It sounded like breathing, like a person. I don't see anything. There's no way that was you, was it? It sounded like a person, not a cat. I don't know. Anyway, I just wanted to say that. That's what I was thinking about. So I might as well turn on the camera and say it, right? Anyway, I didn't expect to talk about all of that. I just expected to just say what my dream was. And then that was it. But then I went off on that long tangent. But still, like, being arrested for something you didn't do, or having somebody else decide when somebody should die instead of just letting it happen naturally, is so horrible. I know I'm stating the obvious, but it's just how many people actually think about it, like really think about it. most people, you know, like they just ignore it when it's in the news and stuff, or they look at it, say, oh, that's too bad, and forget about it after about a minute. But like when you really think about it, all of the people that have been falsely accused of something and have been in jail for years and then turned out they were innocent the whole time, or, you know, when somebody takes somebody else's life, like when you really think about just how horrible those two things really are and how common they are, it's scary to think about. Anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Bye.